Hello everyone, Anna here, and this is not a magic trick, but kind of magic. I have received a box from Squareoff. Thank you so much, Squareoff, for the sponsorship. I'm going to review this board, but give you my actual honest feedback, the pros and cons of the board, and whether you should get it or not. It was launched at Norway Chess, meaning that Magnus Carlsen and Co. already have this board. Does it mean you need it? We shall see. I have not broken it, I promise. Alright, I'm gonna be more gentle from here on. Pro, world's first rollable e-chessboard. Whoa! This is the board, and it truly is rollable. Very light. Pieces in very cute pouches. Kind of like my yoga mat, but in a smaller size. It is truly very flexible and bendable. But we need to see if it works at all. How do you make something so rollable, so portable, be at the same time an adaptive AI that will work through LED lights? Because that's what they promised. Or you can play online through the app on chess.com, only chess, with anyone in the world. How can this board keep up with that promise? Let's turn it on. It lights up. Pretty colors! Is that a circle? I don't know this opening. I might plug it in just in case. I don't know how charged it is when you receive it. I've only just opened it literally in front of your own eyes. But before I'm gonna connect it with my app, let's just look at the pieces too, shall we? This pouch first. Horsey. Here. It even says on the pouches which pieces, well, in case you're still learning the names. So we don't call it horsey anymore. I call it horsey on my channel. Alright, that's fine too. A knight or horsey. Ta-da! What do you guys think? The pieces, the board itself, it truly is very portable. Chess sets I would have at home. I like when it's got some weight so that the pieces don't do this very easily. But again, if you want to carry it in your backpack, then you want something lightweight. So it depends on whether you would travel with it or have a chessboard, just a chess set that you keep at home always and forever. On to what actually is the true test of this chessboard. How does it connect to the app? Let's take a look. So the app itself is called Squareoff. You can get it on the Play Store, on iOS for free. Ooh, beeping. It's fully connected to my board. It actually recognizes that I have a rollable e-board, the new Squareoff Pro. This model has an inbuilt adaptive AI, meaning that you pick a level and then it will, as you progress, as you play games, it will also start learning how strong or weak you are. No, you're strong. I know you're all very strong. So it will adjust to your level. Play game. Checking board. Oh, it's beeping. Squareoff is to move and is moving knight to c3. It lit up on the b1 square and on the c3 square, and that's how I know that's where it wants to move. My go. Control the center straight away. Pawn to d5. Oh, jumping out with the other knight. I think it doesn't know yet that I'm actually a titled player because it's jumping out with the horses, but it's not pushing any pawns in the center. I'm gonna try to punish it by pushing my pawn to d4. Your go, Squareoff. It immediately recognizes the move. It's so smooth. I'm just making normal moves. I'm not pressing the square. I don't need to press first and then move. It immediately recognizes. Oh! I was just explaining to my viewers how it works, please. You know what? In competitive chess, you touch a piece, you need to move with it. I did that. I'll be fair. I'm making that move, although I didn't want to. Your go, Squareoff. It is tournament size. The pieces, the board, so everything is set if you want to train for competitions, or just bring it with yourself to a park, to your friend's place. I'm gonna trade this horsey. It's beeping that my move is illegal. I need to register the trade better. I had to lift it up and then place the knight there. That's a tricky one because you need to remove the piece and then place your piece there. That's something to get used to, just so that the board recognizes the capture. I'm gonna develop this other horsey too. I wanna push my pawn all the way to e5, support the center. I'm a little bit lower on time because I was trying to figure out how the capture works, but now that I know it, you cannot flag me, Squareoff. You cannot flag me. This is going to be really interesting how it works when playing online chess, because you can play through the app with your board against opponents on chess.com, only chess. I'm really slow playing on an online board. Everyone knows that I'm clumsy with the mouse, the keyboard. My gaming skills are, for my entire life an over-the-board chess player. That's where I competed since I was a kid. I was an Olympian at over-the-board classical chess. If I'm to play Blitz, I'm much faster on a physical board than online. I don't care about pre-moves. I don't care about clicking here and there in advance. I am faster when I need to actually touch the pieces. So I'm gonna take that pawn, move here, and that's how I trade. Now I know it! Haha, square off, take that! I mean, I guess you will take it because you need to take back. So far the AI is not doing a bad job. This is a roughly equal position. I'm gonna give it a check. I think c3 will have to be played. Unless you wanna play the Botis Gambit. Please, maybe. Square off is still thinking. Botis Gambit or delayed Bone Cloud? Those two. Neither. You're not a Twitch viewer, are you? To your favorite creators, I'm gonna pull that bishop back here, supporting my central pawn. This is a roughly equal position. What you gonna do, square off? Oh shoot, I didn't realize it's my turn. I was adjusting my camera. I'm a content creator too, square off. I can't just focus on the game only. I'm in charge of both cameras. I'm a camera woman and player in this moment. And so you played bishop to c4. Good move, developing, but I'm gonna castle and not let you attack here. I think square off will castle too.
Your mother will castle.
I can also ask for hints and threats, but I'm gonna play competitive mode. No help, but those are handy. If you wanna train the tools that it has for coaching, the hints and threats, that is very helpful. Square off. In this game, bishop to d5. What about your king? When will you castle? I'm not afraid of doubling pawns. I'm gonna pin your knight. What you gonna do about that, huh? I'm trying to be intimidating as if I could be trash talking an AI, but I don't think the AI is actually listening to me unless... Can you hear me, square off?
Unfortunately.
I hope not, because I'm talking about my plans and my strategy. Castling now, alright, you realize that you should do that before it's too late. That's fine. For now, just the queen here, more pressure on that pin knight. I only have a minute and a half left, so I need to hurry up. I wonder what square off will do. h3 to try to provoke a capture, move the queen to e2 to bring the rooks to the open central files. Or just the Botis Gambit, you can still move that knight. Never too late.
You have the attention span of a toddler.
Hey, it's my go. I was just looking at the camera angle too. But I only have a minute left. a3? Okay, I mean, interesting move. Do you want to push b4? You could have done that before a3. Not quite sure what do you want there, square off. I'm gonna bring my rook to the open file, pinning that bishop indirectly. 55 seconds, I really need to focus on making quick moves as I promised. I'm faster on an over-the-board situation than in online chess, so this should be enough time. Oopsie, did I miss that? Kind of, but I can always take and then take the queen. The only thing is this pawn will be hanging. If I take here first, take the queen, takes my rook. I completely missed this. I was so focused on presenting the board. I'm not resigning. I'm not resigning. Oh no! I'm gonna have to take this. But then the issue will be that after knight takes queen, when I take the white queen, white could take here, but then I have king f8 and chase away the knight. This is a mess. And not the mess I like, not the mess I wanted. I missed it. I blundered. I was too cocky. I really wanted to beat this AI. I think it's outplaying me. Already has taken my queen. All right, I'm taking your queen. Whoa, it hasn't registered a move yet. I need to do it better. There we go. 19 seconds left. Whoa! All right, check. I'm going here. I'm hoping I can chase this away, even though this is a knight fork, but then I'm gonna get 2 minor pieces for the rook. I think it will take my bishop now. Wah! Made a move. Takes my bishop. I'm gonna chase that knight away. I think I'm gonna get a check. Takes. I'm gonna take the bishop. Alright. Taking the bishop. It's gonna take my rook, and I'm gonna take back with my rook. 2 minor pieces for a rook and a pawn. This is equal material. As scary as it was, I survived the tactics that I stepped into. I got lucky there. I got lucky there that this is not fatal. I can still play this game. This is a very balanced position. What's not balanced is the time management, but hey, I was focusing on the camera, square off. You should also focus on something else. Maybe multitask a little bit. All right, moving the rook here. I am going to push my pawn. Let's see what you're gonna do about that. If b4, I might push a4 and fix this pawn on a dark square because my bishop is a dark squared bishop and I'm hoping that my knight could hop in there later in an endgame. Tense moment, king here. That's a good move, but I'm gonna fix your pawn and I want this square or this square for my horsey. I love endgames, so I don't think square off realized what it is up to. It's still pretty balanced, but I'm already seeing those lovely weak squares for the knight as an outpost. Aha, it doesn't let me do it. That's smart, but I'm gonna take... a3 was hanging too, but so was my pawn, so I had to do it this way. If rook takes, I'm gonna play knight to a5, defend my pawn and at the same time attack the rook. Now, will you give me the rook or will you give me the pawn? The pawn is actually not hanging. It wasn't hanging earlier either because this is a pin. At least I didn't blunder my rook earlier. But I like this. I like this that pawn and this pawn too are isolated and weak. I will have time later to grab them. Attacking my knight, attacking that pawn. Oh, and this is a pin. I need to be very careful about this. This is hanging though. Ah! I made a move in 1 second and the bell is ringing. It's not the best moment for the mailman. I don't have time to go and pick it up or open the door. Square off, you're putting a lot of pressure on me. Will you take that pawn? But then I'm gonna get that pawn. It's a trade. Trading here, get my rook, get that pawn. King here, alright, I'm bringing my king too. Maybe I could have brought it here to attack this pawn because then I could have taken back my rook, but I'm just making sure nothing is hanging this pawn neither. I want this pawn on the board. 9 seconds. What? Okay, yeah, it's true that my rook would be hanging, but still. Oh, I'm gonna come back here with the king. Now I'm threatening to take. I also could have moved the rook up 1 square. That probably was the better choice, but here I am panicking with no time on the clock. Back here, I'm gonna take. It didn't register my move. I'm gonna need a rematch. I lost on time. Try again.
You're not short of strategies, just short of time.
Thanks, square off. Even the AI trash talks me. I'm slow. I need to practice with the captures because that's the tricky part on how the piece is registered. That I need to lift up first the piece I want to take and the mailman is there ringing the bell. Excuse me for a second. I'll analyze the game in a moment. Back to the game. I think I'm winning if it wasn't for me being clumsy with the capture. So this is something that you need to get used to use the board, because I would take a piece like this in over the board chess, but here you need to, for the board to register the move correctly, you need to lift up the piece first, then make the move to the empty square. So that's something that you should adjust to in order to not lose on time like me. But if I didn't lose on time, I think this endgame is already much better for black. Why? We might trade rooks here. I already have 2 pieces for the rook, no extra pawn for white. As you can see, 5 versus 5. This is my most vulnerable pawn, but even if white attacks it with the rook, I can now come back with the horsey, either to c6 or knight c4, more active move, but also possibly not as stable because the king could then chase me away. So I might need to be a bit more pragmatic, come back here with the knight, or drop the bishop back to c5, block the 5th rank, and slowly but surely, I think this endgame is actually winning. I would have loved to play this endgame. Then you go up with the king, support the pawn, start pushing, get the knight to c4. This is a lovely endgame with the 2 minor pieces facing the rook, and I think from here on the 2 minor pieces are superior to the rook, especially without that extra pawn. So square off, I'm gonna challenge you in the future again, because I feel like you should have lost this endgame if it wasn't for me being really clumsy with the capture. To sum up, a competitor, or if you want to trade on a board that is very easy to carry, very easy to travel with, then this is a good choice. Downside, it doesn't have the automated motions as other square off boards like these models. I really like to see those videos when the pieces move on its own. It feels like magic. So if you want the invisible hand to play against you, like on these boards, you need to pick up the other models. This one does not have automated motion. Since I travel a lot and I've actually just come back from Paris where I was streaming with the both the sisters for IRL streams, to bring it to a park, to bring it to a chess club, it's really useful to have a board like this. For having something at home, I do recommend the sturdier options, and then you get to see the magic. The only thing with the automated motion, that's slower than how you would move the LED light. So this board is better for Blitz chess, and I'm gonna practice more Blitz chess on it because I really want to prove that I'm faster on a physical board than online. That's just how it goes with someone who is a grandma like me now. I just love touching the pieces, and that's how I grew up. That's what I practiced my whole life. I think it is a good value for the price, and considering that it's a fully rollable e-board, a smart AI inbuilt that can coach you and play against you, as well as you can connect it through your chess.com or Chess to play online games with. I find it fascinating. I think this is the future, where you get to play on a physical board against an opponent that's not in the same room as you. So I'm excited, and I think this is a really cool set. I just need to learn how to capture better and see on my stream whether I can play on chess.com against a real opponent from the other end of the world. Well, tune in to check it out, and thanks to Square for sending me this board. Now I want to have the other one too with the automated motion, but that's not for Blitz chess and that's not for traveling, so I'm not gonna be greedy and ask for everything for now. I'm just gonna appreciate that I can practice over the board chess and at the same time play online too on Twitch. That's gonna be awesome though. I'm gonna be like the one streamer that does it. It could be a new category. IRL and online chess at the same time. Thanks so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked it, please do give it a thumbs up. And as already shown at the beginning of the video, there's a link in the description. If you want to check out this board, the Square Pro, or any other Square boards, try it out for yourself, whether it's the smartest, coolest board out there. I do think it's worth it. I would recommend this board. The other ones, I still need to check out, and I want to see the automated motion in person. Magic. It is truly magic. See you in the next video, and have a lovely day.